What is up, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video on Trend Films. Today we'll be talking about the 10 things nobody knows about Rick Harrison. Anybody who is an avid watcher of the History Channel will know from the title alone who we are going to be talking about today. For those who don't watch porn stars, let us fill you in. Richard Kevin Harrison is an American businessman, reality TV personality, and co-owner of the world-famous gold and silver pawn shop, which is featured on the History series, which they co-own until his father's death. Now, without talking too much, let's hop into our 10th spot. Coming up at number 10, being the owner of gold and silver pawn shop, it is only natural to imagine that Rick Harrison himself has seen all sorts of objects that people tried to sell him over the years. When asked about the most bizarre of all, he usually says it was Japanese dirty magazines, but they were not ordinary. The pile of sexy images was over 200 years of age. It's all hand painted, it's on a scroll down to every bodily fluid, everything's really exaggerated. It's sort of creepy, and then after I bought it, I realized my mother came into the pawn shop, so I couldn't display it out there. Another surprising situation happened when a man tried to sell Rick a set of human skulls. Actual human skulls. Possibly from a medicine school. Honestly, for a pawn shop that is located in Las Vegas, a stack of hand-painted dirty magazines and some skulls seem pretty extreme. Coming up at number 9, Rick in an interview disclosed that he already knows what he's going to buy while the reality TV show is being recorded. We all know that reality shows are scripted, but even we were amazed to see such a level of scripting goes into planning the reality shows. At one instant, Rick also accidentally disclosed that he had to actually take acting classes to act natural, and surprised when the customers came in to pawn the items. Coming up at number 8, Rick actually doesn't work in his shop in Las Vegas. Sounds strange, no? An owner of the shop who doesn't go to his shop. Well, since the show was aired and Rick was his co-stars became celebrities, they weren't allowed to work in public spaces as it would pull the crowd. The manager deals with the day-to-day operations. Coming up at number 7, every time Rick shoots for the show, he actually loses business. Well, he makes money from the show, but the people coming in to pawn items are actually paid people following a script. A major chunk of these people just come into the shop and negotiate, and when Rick sometimes doesn't agree to their terms, they leave. All of this is scripted. The shop is closed for actual customers during the shooting. Coming up at number 6, Rick always knew that getting on television was the ideal way to attract more business. So he agreed to have the shop exposed on a Comedy Central show called It's Not Maniac in 2003. That's great advertising. Rick started pitching his idea for a reality series to several networks, and HBO was originally interested, but the pilot they came up with was horrible, and Rick's contract expired, so he left for Left Field Productions, and he remains with them to this day. I figured that a show would mean free publicity, and free publicity would mean more business. But everyone told me that no one wants to watch a show about 4 fat guys in a pawn shop. Coming up at number 5, seemingly Rick is quite the businessman on the television, but in reality even Rick has had his fair share of bad deals and lost a huge chunk of money. Some of the items he buys from the customers are forged and fake, and he incurs a heavy loss when he can't sell them off. Coming up at number 4, Rick once melted a huge chunk of coins to bend the law and sell the gold off before waiting a certain time period set by the state of Nevada. Unfortunately, the owner of the gold coins found out about this little venture and sued the pawn shop, but couldn't win the case. Coming up at number 3, after the success of the show, Rick decided to do what he does best: expand. He opened the Pawn Plaza, which consisted of many pawn shops and restaurants. The plaza kicked off pretty good, but for the recent year or two, it has operated in losses and isn't doing very well. Coming up at number 2, Rick is often shooed away from garage sales and other auctions since the show aired. The reason for this is the mind-blowing negotiating skills Rick possesses. Rick once told the media, "Last year I stopped by a yard sale and asked the lady about a painting. He said she recognized who I was and took it away and said it's not for sale." Coming up at number 1, Rick's friend and partner Chumlee once broke a base worth $200,000. I'm sure we all know about this, and by broke, we meant shattered to bits. You'd think he was fired immediately from the show, but Rick paid for the losses and kept Chumlee on the show and held no grudges. Now guys, that is it for me. If you learned something new, make sure you comment it down in the comment section. But without further ado, I'll see you guys next time.